Brilliant. So I'm Fergus Charles from Millwood Design Homes. We're the applicant on the site of the Hop Garden in Halland, and Jan is from our planning consultants, Campbell and Williams. I'm just going to introduce us, Millwood Design Homes, and what we're about, and then I'm going to hand over to Jan, who's going to talk about our site in Halland. So, Millwood Design Homes, we're based in Tunbridge in Kent. We're a small housing developer. We focus on bespoke, individually designed homes on small scale, low density developments. We do a lot in the southeast and in the Wilden area generally. And we look at traditional exteriors, traditional architecture, materials, and combining that with more contemporary modern interiors and technology. We've won a number of awards over the years. We won the Evening Standard Awards for the Best Development in 2015 for our Orchard Gate scheme in Ditton. And we won bronze for the Best Developer, Best Small House Builder, sorry, at the What House Awards in 2015. And more recently, we were highly commended for our Lavender Fields scheme in the 2017 LABC South East Building Awards. So that's the next.
Lavender Fields is here
in Eastfield.
Sorry.
And
where's the one you're talking about?
Eastfield in East Sussex.
Okay, because there's a Lavender Fields here, isn't there? Is that what you mentioned?
Yeah.
What was the name of the one that we saw?
That's what I was talking about.
That's right.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So this is our development in Eastfield, which is nearing completion. If anyone wants to get a feel for what Millwood Design Homes are all about and the kind of developments that we build, Lavender Fields is our most recent example, one of our best. You can go and visit it now. It's nearly complete. There's, I think, only 3 homes of 39 left to sell. So it's a development of 39 homes, all individually designed in the traditional local style, using traditional materials. We use a mixture of brick, clay, slates, and timber weatherboarding. And it was designed to reflect the natural growth of a hamlet over the period of 200 years. So we've got traditional farmhouses, we've got barn conversion style houses, we've got an oast, and the Georgian manor house, which you see in the picture in the top right there. So it's
affordable houses on there?
There are, yes. So
it's the one on the top right.
Where are they on there?
They're not, because of the stage of build when the photographs were taken. And the
So how many affordable? Is that 39 properties? How many are affordable?
I believe it's 7.
7.
Eastfield. So
that's an enormous number.
It's in line with it's in line with the requirements with and all of our developments, all of our affordable housing is tenure blind. The idea is if you go to any of our developments, you won't be able to pick out the affordable housing amongst the private housing. The specifications are the same, the materials are the same, and we use the same house types for affordable housing and for private housing. So
What have we done?
yeah, so we're on to the site. I'm just going to hand over to Joanne to talk about the Hop Garden.
Thank you, Fergus. Hello everybody. Right, as far as the site is concerned, I'm sure you all know Halland doesn't have a development boundary, but it is defined as a local settlement by the Building Council's local draft plan. So our site that we would like to represent today is basically located to the beyond the existing residential development along the A22. The site is very well enclosed and is bound by the ancient woodland to the south and dense hedging and trees to the north and west. So as a result, any important or long views into the site are very limited.
Sorry, just one moment. Can we turn the lights off? I think the switches are at the back somewhere, just because it is a bit bright now with the sun coming out. Just like the screen might be a bit clearer.
A map of switches.
Thank you. We'll put a map up in a minute. Just let the presentation
Richard,
move.
can we just go over the actual location, please?
Yes, one second, if I just come out of this, and if I just put a map up of the whole parish, which is this one, and if I zoom in on Halland, you can just give us a really good...
So we are looking at this side here.
So here's the hotel on the corner, so the road runs out to the northwest,
Yes.
and it's down here.
This is the Stourton Nursery and Garden Centre.
And that, the black shadows on that are the actual glass houses. The ordnance survey made the greenhouses dark black.
So is that behind the existing bungalows?
Yes.
Okay, right.
And the access is off the A22?
Yes, if we get back to the
We'll let
page,
the
then
presentation
we'll,
continue on that. So if I just go back.
So the access to the site is through the existing driveway, which leads to the hop garden, and it's a residential dwelling situated immediately to the north of the site, around here. As you can see, that's the existing dwelling, and there's the existing access coming through there. So the site is generally flat, and it comprises unused grass field. It has no planning history, but it was used as a garden nursery, and it also has been used for the production and selling of Christmas trees. So the site has an area of 1.4 hectares. Normally at a recognised ratio of 30 dwellings per hectare, the site actually could deliver up to 40 units. But we are proposing to deliver 21 units, which is a much lower density, and as to make sure that it has generous plots, sufficient amenity space, and associated landscaping to serve the residential units. And the access obviously will be widened just slightly, and it will be capable of serving the 21 new homes without any problems as far as highway standards are concerned. So the development proposal, the proposed layout is design-led and providing bespoke homes and using high-quality materials, traditional materials, as Fergus mentioned. That includes brick, plain clay roof, vertical tiles, and timber weatherboarding. So we made sure in this scheme that the design detailing and architectural details all are reflect the local context. And the incorporation of nature landscaping scheme will also enhance the development, and we are also providing an attenuation pond and swales for sufficient drainage scheme, which will also improve wildlife biodiversity. So in terms of the proposed units, from the 21 units, we are proposing 7 affordable homes, and that is in line with the Building Council's affordable housing policy. So the market homes will comprise 2 to 5 bedroom homes, and affordable homes will vary between 1 bed to 3 bedroom homes, which meet the demand in the district, and the Building Council's housing department actually is in support of this proposed mix as well. So we submitted the full plan application in February 2017, and that was following a positive pre-application advice from Building Council. But since March 2017, as I'm sure you're aware, because of the Ashdown Forest situation and the policy towards protection of the Ashdown Forest, the application has been on hold. And now we are aware that any further progress on the local plan is not going to take place until the end of June 2018. We received no objections on the application from Natural England, Sussex Police, Wilden Housing Department, and Wilden Landscape and Tree Officer. We had some objections from the Highway Authority, and that was in relation to the width of the access to serve the proposed development, and in terms of the sustainability of the site in terms of its location. But the access proposals have now been amended to meet the highway standards, and where the access road meets the A22, there is actually good visibility, and it is well in excess of the highway standards. And in terms of the sustainability of the site, sorry, okay. In terms of sustainability, it was acknowledged by the council that the site is well related to the existing residential development, and it will support rural facilities and other services within the surrounding network of villages. We had some concerns on the drainage capacity in terms of surface water and foul water capacity, but further investigations will be undertaken and relevant contributions will be made to meet the requirements raised by the local flood authority and southern water. So we also had objections from the parish council and local residents, some of it which already been referred to by the consultees. There was a concern about the, quickly go on the next one. HGV traffic movements. There's a temporary issue which comes with any development site, so we will provide a detailed construction management plan to make sure that there's no impact. Density, as we mentioned before, we are delivering a very low density scheme compared to the recognised ratio. Parking will be provided in accordance with the County Council's recently updated guidance. And ancient woodlands, we are obviously providing a buffer zone to make sure that there's no impact, as you can see from here, to respect that proximity, and this ancient buffer zone will be landscaped and managed in accordance with the recommendations by our ecology and landscaping consultants.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, we will take some questions. Just to clarify, though, this is Hallam. We've seen from Ryden Homes, and he's told this. So both villages are of interest to developers. But unlike the Ryden scheme, which was very early days, this has got a planning application in a year back. But there's been no decision because of the hold-up with the Wealden local plan. And there's a moratorium on making decisions. Okay. Do you have any indication from Wealden what their likely decision will be and when that might come? Or are you completely in the dark?
No, because we only submitted it in February and it was a month later. We dealt with the obviously highway concerns, it was accepted, and we agreed that more work would be carried out in terms of drainage problems, but it didn't go further than that.
Okay.
Because
so there's still no decision.
I mean, I would say though that the reason the site was brought forward was on the basis of positive pre-application discussion with Wealden. So there is indication from the authority that they support the site for the delivery of the numbers that we're looking at.
Okay, we'll take some questions because we've got I'll whiz through the cricket club and others, so we've bought ourselves a bit of time for this. The gentleman here had his hand up first, and then I'll ask some others.
Yeah, I'm a Hallam resident, and I've read through the plan. I don't object to the housing per se, but I think you've glossed over how dangerous it is. There's a traffic island right opposite, well, just south of there, and there's a bend just to the north, just before Southampton's nursery.
Yes.
And you're going to have a load of cars coming out there. HGVs can't get in unless you're going to move those traffic islands.
Yes.
So the sweat parking houses
Yes.
put in. And there's just too much traffic coming onto the A22.
Yeah.
Where most driveway, and that driveway is only the width of a private driveway.
It is.
If you get a truck coming in or out, you're going to get stationary cars backed up on the A22.
Yeah. Yeah. So what we've done with our revised access proposal is we're now providing a 5 metre width for a distance of over 14 metres, which is in excess of the 12 metres that highways require. That allows delivery vehicles, refuse vehicles, fire tenders and the like to come into the site so that they stop on the access road off the A22 to allow any other traffic to exit the site. And further up where the access sweeps round the bend, we've improved the forward visibility there so that you can see any cars coming around the bend before you reach that point and vehicles can pass. So all of the access proposals are in excess of the requirement from highways. In terms of the A22 and the traffic island, because the A22 is a major road, we had to have an independent road safety audit which was carried out, and that has recommended that the traffic island be moved if the proposal was to go ahead. So that would be carried out by us as part of the development proposals, which would obviously improve the access into the site. and in terms of the road generally, with the movement of that traffic island and with the additional access, we tend to see actually an improvement in terms of reduced speeds, etc., approaching the area, because there's a sort of increase in built development which tends to reduce speeds in terms of people's perception as they enter the village. So I think overall we would expect to see an improvement really in highway safety in that
So
area.
if the speed here was reduced as other measures, that would help egress and access. Lady down the blue.
But I've lived in Harrow for 35 years. Basically, the traffic has got worse and worse. It is dangerous. The A22 is dangerous. They are looking with rose-tinted glasses about that exit coming out. The traffic is accelerating from that speed camera as it goes down there. It's generally doing 40 miles an hour. And anyone who lives in Harrow will tell you that little thing that slow down to go 30 miles an hour is almost always flashing.
But isn't there a conundrum here that while the situation remains, that's your argument that this shouldn't happen, but if you solve some of those discussions, this makes this easier?
I don't see how you can solve it when that camera is always the one always flashing, and it is the traffic is always going so fast.
But do we need on that point then a much more bold traffic calming speed reduction measures down this route in any event, with or without this development?
Even so, at the present moment there is a lot of traffic going through Holland. We don't have any safe pavements.
The problem
Not
with
anywhere.
the
I'm just trying to say, it is a very dangerous road for all of us. It's dangerous for your exit and entrance. It's dangerous there. Every time you build a house, 2 cars at least come with the house. Right? We have no access to any public transport except once an hour up and down from Upfield down to Eastbourne. Right? There is no way that children can get down to Ringmer School unless they get the Ringmer bus.
So just on that,
bus, they can't go to school.
But we've walked this and it is horrible. The pavement's incredibly narrow.
Walking out the other way.
So if you widen the pavements to make them more generous to pedestrians and narrow the carriageway, a narrower carriageway, drivers instinctively drive more slowly. Because when you've got lots of wriggle room and the cars coming the opposite way are just whizzing past.
And what do you
So
do when you get too big areas?
they slow down and flash the headlights and say after you.
Sometimes. Sorry.
These are the challenges you're going to have, because if you've got fast moving traffic, we heard it from Jonathan, there's a traffic delay, the things back up, that's the problem, you're needing to keep free flowing. But at the same time you'd like slower traffic. So I think there needs to be a trade-off between an element of managed congestion, if you're going to slow these things down, and give pedestrians more room. And this isn't a black and white easy thing, but along here at the moment, the priority is about keeping it moving, keeping it smoothly flowing. And the result is they go faster than they should, and the pedestrians have next to no space left.
Yeah.
So if you rebalance it in favour of pedestrians and slow the traffic, you may actually have delays to drivers. But that is at a price worth delivering on.
I don't know.
These
The
are the
other
things.
issue, everyone wants to put up all these big houses. Now, I've lived in Hallam long enough to see virtually no children in Hallam. People with young children cannot afford to live in Hallam. This is a problem. You know, nothing under £250,000 for a house. Now, what we want is smaller houses. We want 2 or 3 bedroom houses, not 4 or 5 bedrooms in all these developments.
Yeah.
Well, they've got,
I know that one's got some.
Well, we are looking to provide predominance of 3-bedroom houses on this development,
And will they be,
obviously-
they're going to be 350,000?
I wouldn't know, to be honest, how to answer that, but
No,
I do know
the
that.
children who made the
You don't
village.
know.
I do agree with you, and I mean,
And the reason I know is because I send out emails to virtually everyone else. Now, I was looking for something that's going on in the village hall on Saturday. I think I found 10 adults with children in Halland. Now, that is one reason why Halland is not a place where we can all group together and do things, because you need the children there, you need the play area, and you need small village houses.
I mean,
Does anyone else agree with me with that?
I agree with you yourself, and you know, we are looking to provide a predominance of smaller units, and it's in line with the recognised need in the area in terms of house sizes. In terms of house prices, it's slightly beyond our control really, but we are part of the Help to Buy scheme, and we do have a lot of things in place to help first-time buyers, and larger developments like this and developers of our size do have those measures in place to try and help facilitate first-time buyers and people getting onto the property ladder. So
Okay.
that would be an advantage.
Can I ask a quick question? Aside from the traffic issues and subject to that being solved, if that's a phrase, is this location in Hallam round the back of the properties to the south? Is that seen as
There's no, like you said, Hallam hasn't got a kind of village, and this is kind of putting a roundabout behind a whole load of houses. It doesn't give any more to the future of what Hallam might be. So I love the houses. I think it's a shame that you'll never see them because unless you live there. And the aspect, it doesn't bring any more community to what is a ribbon development.
Can I ask the team here, is there any walking links out the back of the site, or is all foot and vehicle access?
It is because of the ownership of the adjoining land.
So unlike the riding scheme show footpath links like onto the
it's obviously something that we as the developer would be more than happy to explore, because it would benefit the residents of the new development as well, but that would have to be discussed with adjoining landowners and the necessary conditions.
Gentlemen, we will do some quick questions, but we've got to then get back on track, so you can keep them brief.
Latest development on Eastbourne Road, they've still not sold all the homes. That's of the 4 and 5 bedroom style that the predominance is on this site. And had you looked at the East Hovey with Hallam Parish Council response to the issues and options from Wealdon, that would tell you that in the Parish Council the requirement is for affordable homes. There's no requirement for large 4 or 5 bedroom homes. So why do we see a development that's based on this? It's not one that's wanted in Hallam. There's no community space that's going to be offered on this site, and basically I would expect the Parish Council to object to it.
Do you want to briefly come back on that?
Yeah, I mean we're looking to provide a mix of housing on the site, as we do on any development site. A site of entirely 2 and 3 bedroom homes wouldn't really work in terms of creating the right sense of community and place. We always provide a variety of house sizes, but the predominance is on smaller houses, the predominance is on 3 bedroom houses. The affordable provision is in line with what is required by Wealdon's housing service,
but it doesn't show that you've given any thought in terms of what is provided in Hallam. If you look at Wenham Gardens, you'll see a sustainable development there of affordable homes. That's the sort of thing that's needed, but it's not being...
Welham Gardens?
Yes.
Let's make a note of that.
Yeah, the development on Lewis Road.
Another question?
Can I ask, you said that you've done a buffer zone for the ancient woodland.
Yes.
What's the length of that? I mean,
So,
going from the development,
so it's 15 metres
it is
width.
15
It
metres.
is 15 metres. Well, in fact, it's 15 metres at its narrowest, and the rest of it is in excess of 15 metres.
What's the
So-
buffer zone?
Sorry.
What's the distance between the houses and the ancient woodland?
Minimum.
It's a minimum of 15
Woodland
metres.
Trust recommends at least a lot more than that.
Well,
So I suggest you take the Woodland Trust recommendations.
the Natural England guidance, which is the
Natural
current
England is a
guidance.
government organisation.
Yes.
Think about looking at the Woodland Trust guidance.
Well, with respect, the government agencies are what they have to. These guys are working within.
They can stretch it, please, they can stretch it.
No, they have to work with the legal system, and that's the guidance.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Shows all about.
Okay, Jonathan had his hand up,
I have one
and then Alan at the back. I think.
Just to clarify, you said that in order to allow access off the road, you'd be taking away the traffic island.
wouldn't take away the traffic island, we'd look to relocate the traffic island just to improve the access from, if you're coming from the direction of the village, for larger vehicles turning into that access.
Are you talking with Halland about where they would like it relocated to?
Not at this stage, because
when your planning application goes in, all the traffic access things will be in concrete.
Yes, so,
it's a full application.
Yes, it is. So at the moment, we dealt with the issues that were raised by the road safety audit, which didn't include moving the traffic island. Subsequent to that, the Highways Department raised some concerns about the access for larger vehicles. So we've looked at that following the submission of our application, and we've come up with a revised proposal which would include moving the traffic island to improve the access, which would be beyond what would be required by highways, but to improve the situation for large vehicles. So that's something that's happened after the original application went in, and given the current stalemate of the planning situation with Wealdon, it's not something that we progress at this stage, but certainly before, when things start moving again, then we'd be more than happy to engage with Halland and with the parish council in terms of relocating the traffic.
Okay, one last quick question, and then we've got to move on, or we'll slip behind Bradley. Yeah.
This isn't really about that development.
If it's not about that development, then
Are you going to talk about, maybe not at some point, a plan for Halland? Because it seems to me that the problem with Halland is that it's just addressing two very large roads and a ramp up, and that it has it doesn't gather around any kind of community space. And maybe
we are thinking exactly this afternoon.
These sort of developments will really be accessing a road that's...
This afternoon we can envisage two task groups this afternoon. One may be looking at Halland, one may be looking at East Coalvey, and a plan for Halland, as in inverted commas, as a phrase, is something we do think is needed. And I'm going to be provocative here. If that was a village hall, and you increase the density to get your profit in, because this, as you said, this is very low density land. We're not built Mark Twain land, buy it now. We ain't building any more of it. We shouldn't be profligate with land, and if the density is deliberately low, we need to question that. If we can raise the density in a quality way and get you community facilities as part of this mix, and the raised density gives a profit margin that allows a more extensive pedestrian improvement here, rather than just moving an island up and down, you guys can win, the community can win, there could be something better, but I think walking access to this site from other directions could be important. So I think there's a lot of merit in here, but it perhaps needs more work. And they're in the room to hear you. So, Catherine, I'm going to ask you very, very briefly, but we must move on. All I say is I think there's a lot of interesting stuff here. I wouldn't discount it out of hand straight away. Work with them, maybe. Go on.
Is there any renewable energy on this?
Renewable energy is a difficult one. What we do with all of our developments is we follow the fabric first approach. We produce homes that are naturally energy efficient in the way that they're constructed. We have found that when you put solar panels on a roof and you use water recycling and other renewable technologies, it ticks a box, but it doesn't solve the problem, because solar panels are often inefficient, and it's an additional cost for people to purchase the house, to keep them maintained and the like. So we build the efficiency into the homes to start off with. So all of the construction detailing is well in excess of the building standards. So the homes are more energy efficient than your average home, which then reduces energy use. Does that make sense?
Okay, thank you to the team. Okay, these guys cannot stay with us, so we can redesign it all in their absence.